Hello everybody, I'm Pafslash and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky. In the last episode, we went to Gransel Castle and we had a maid see us to our room. Now we are in the castle. We actually got put our plan into motion. We gotta bring Julia's letter to the head maid. But first I just thought I wanted to take a look around and see what other guests are found around there, because right in here, like in here, we can actually find a lot of familiar faces. Hello, Dean Collins and Mayor Claus.
Ah, Joshua Stell, you made it. It's been quite a while.
Dean Collins? You were invited to the banquet as well, sir?
I just arrived today via airship from Rouen. A little mayoral birdie told me you two won the tournament. Also, I don't remember if this is my voice or not, but fuck it. Jill and everyone else will be so happy to hear it.
Thank you. I had no idea we'd be seeing you here, Dean Collins.
Dean Collins is a member of the Royal Assembly and a man of great respect to the Burl. It's only fitting he'd be given a seat at this banquet. A man of great respect, he says. Oh, you flatter me, Mayor.
What's the Royal Assembly? It's a meeting held once per year to address matters affecting the kingdom. The Queen, mayors of every city, and other representatives all come together to try solving various problems of state. Wow, sounds big! So all those guys have been invited here tonight too?
No, I'd say only about half. Her Majesty is still ill, and General Morgan is away on official military business, and Mayor Dalmore of Rouen was arrested in that nasty affair, and Professor Russell is a bit too entrenched in too many unknowns right now. We don't know how true all this talk is of the Royal Guardsmen being involved in some underground terrorist organization. It is hardly the time to be holding a feast at all, if you ask me. Well, we can use this chance to see where Duke Dunan stands on all these issues. We need his permission to have an audience with Her Majesty regardless. Yes, that's the biggest issue here without a doubt. Barring us from seeing Her Majesty is the height of idiocy and mismanagement. I would like to pay my respect to Princess Claudia as well, but it's the same story.
Princess Claudia is the Queen's granddaughter, right? Does she live here in the castle?
No, it's my understanding her actual residence is elsewhere, but I'm told she's come to the capital as a few days ago.
She's here then? I'd really love to meet her.
I'm sure you'll have a chance.
Yeah, we'll probably have a chance to meet the princess. Hopefully. Is there anyone here? Hello, Mayor Maybell. Mayor Maybell! And Lila. Joshua, Estelle. Ah, here at last. I kept wondering when you'd get here. I was practically counting the seconds. So you were invited here too, Mayor. Hey, wait. You were waiting for us? How did you know we were coming? I heard from Mayor Klaus. I heard about a pair of children who entered the tournament, won its championship, and were invited to a grand royal banquet in the castle. If I'd known, I would have cancelled my appointments and come to cheer you on. I'm begging your pardon, ma'am, but that would have been quite impossible given the circumstances. Yes, I'm aware. I'm trying to be polite. Don't worry. I know how busy you must be. I'm sure the Queen has no time to waste at a banquet, what with everything else going on. What is Duke Dunan thinking? That captain was so stubborn about inviting me too. I had no real choice but to accept. Do you mean Captain Amalthea? Yes, it's her. Her words were polite enough, but she gave me an evil eye while she spoke them. I dared not refuse her request. I haven't heard from General Morgan in quite some time. Wait, does that mean you haven't heard any word from the Hacking Gate? The General is unavailable. It's the longest message I've been able to ring from them. It would seem he's busy with these anti-terrorist countermeasures or what have you. I'd hoped he'd be in attendance at this banquet tonight, but I guess he couldn't pull himself away. What do you think about all this, Mayor? Putting mayors from every city in the same place at a time like this? Well, if the Queen were to be in attendance, I would expect some announcement of no small importance. But as it is, this feels like the Duke has too much time on his greasy, chubby hands. He's letting his position of royal proxy go to his head. That sounds about right. But there might still be some kind of official announcement, don't you think? Well, whatever may come of the night, the Grand Chef here is the best in the kingdom. I plan to enjoy the dinner, pay my respect to Her Majesty, and return to boast post-haste. Yes, you do. 2 seconds, got a drink. But yeah, so Mayor Maybell is here. And she talked about Captain Amalthea's evil stare. I was about to mention, but when we were talking to her in the last episode, Yeah, I was gonna mention it, but I couldn't find time for it. That look of hers, it's so... Ugh, it's the literally single most unsettling thing in this entire game, I tell ya. Hello, Mr. Murdoch.
Estelle, Joshua.
Mr. Murdoch, I thought you might be here. With mayoral class individuals on the guest list, we had a feeling you might also be in attendance.
I must say, whenever I expected you two to win a tournament championship and end up hobnobbing in Gransel Castle, Cass's kids to the bone you are.
It took more than our upbringing to get here. Lots of people helped along the way. So it's been a few days. Have there been any developments?
Well, right after you left for the capital, Captain Amalthea from the Intelligence Division came knocking. She forced me to come to this banquet, but I kept my mouth shut about Leicester Fortress. Professor Russell and company are still on the run too. Army hasn't found them yet. But the longer we keep this up, the less chance they have. It's really only a matter of time. I asked Captain Amalthea if I could see Her Majesty and wish her well, but no luck. I was flat out refused. So in other words, we definitely aren't going to be able to do this the easy way.
We sure aren't. But don't you worry, because we totally got that covered. We will get the Professor's message to Her Majesty one way or another. Yeah, hopefully we will. Are there more persons of interest in here? No one in here. No one in here? Nope. Anyone in here then? But I believe we have seen everyone. Is that a note that I can read? No, I can't read it. I just discovered a note. Up here is a garden terrace, which is quite a neat place. It's actually kind of big too. Like, wow. Oh wow, check that out! This must be the castle's garden terrace. I'd say so. You can see the whole lake from here, and it overlooks the town too. Must be great for reconnaissance. Ah, as nice as this is, we really don't have time to stop and enjoy it. We've got a job to do. Yep, we do. So we need to go find the head maid. Now, the maid that escorted us to our room said that if we needed anything at all, we could go down to one of these rooms down there. But actually, Intelligence Division is actually in here. Authorized personnel only. They've occupied that side of the castle, apparently. I believe the room is in here. There's no one here, though. What is outside here, then? Hello, maid. No, nothing has happened. I'm just gonna skip that dialogue. Let's see. I believe this should be the kitchen, if I remember correctly. And if you go out here, you're actually out on the dining place. Now, where would one go to actually find the head maid? Is it in here, perhaps? No, this seems to be an office of some sorts. I have no idea where to actually go in this castle. So let's just wander around for a bit. There's a throne room in there, although it won't be used a whole lot because, you know, with all the shit going on. Let's try scoping out the royal keep, which is up here. Oh, this must be the royal keep. Yeah, it's heavily guarded, all right.
Who are you? Hey, you two.
We're here as guests of the Duke. Is this where Her Majesty lives?
Of course it is. But for the last few days, she hasn't been feeling very well. She's not seeing anyone right now.
Oh, you got it all wrong. We weren't even thinking of that. I just thought it would be amazing if she were to even take notice of us. Does Princess Claudia sleep in here as well?
No, it's just, hey. The princess is focused on looking after Her Majesty. Neither of them has time to deal with the likes of you.
Might I inquire as to what's going on here?
Madame, we didn't know you were back already.
The dinner party will be starting soon. I will be returning to the maid quarters. And who are our guests?
They're from the team that won the martial arts competition. It's only because of that victory that someone of a Bracer's social standing would ever be invited here.
A Bracer's social standing? Such discourtesy! You would insult those who were personally invited to the royal castle?
No, that's not what...
Those invited by the Duke should be treated with all respect due to those invited by Her Majesty. I sincerely hope you have not forgotten that.
Understood.
Wow, she's intense. I wonder who she is.
But, Madame, we can't just allow them to pass. Surely you understand the reasons as the Colonel laid out.
Yes, and I'm quite tired of hearing them repeated to me. I'm terribly sorry, sir and madam. Security has been heightened, and as such, the royal keep and its surroundings are off limits. If I may ask, would you mind waiting in your room until the dinner party begins? Alright. That's fine, we'll do as you ask. I apologize, we weren't trying to cause any trouble.
Fine then, just don't let it happen again. Safe return to you.
I apologize for what that you were subjected to such dreadful behavior. My name is Hilda. I am the head maid of Gransel Castle, and I oversee all of the housekeeping duties. Aha! We had a feeling. Forgive my rudeness, but are we previously acquainted? Well, someone told us about you. I know this handwriting. You see? We also have our bracer emblems and identification with us. I see. Please, come with me to the maid's sitting room. We can discuss the matter further once we are there. I understand. You need to deliver the Professor Russell's message to Her Majesty. Correct? Right. If now's not a good time, we can try later, but... No, it's not an issue. But those special ops men have had the royal keep under constant surveillance for some time now. Only the Duke, the Colonel, and hired attendants such as myself are allowed in. Which means that a private audience is probably a no-go. What do you think, Estelle? We could ask Hilda to relay the Professor's message to Her Majesty. I'd really rather to speak to her face-to-face. There are just too many particulars we don't know that we really need to discuss directly. Like what Duke Dune and Colonel Richard are after. Estelle and Joshua, I have a bit of an idea. Could I get you to return here once the dinner party is over? Why? Have you thought of a way for us to see Your Majesty? I believe I have. It may be difficult, but I think it's worth a try. I'm going to need some time to get ready, so can you come back after the dinner party? Awesome! Understood, we'll be back then. I'll be waiting. Food prep is done, so I think we'll begin serving shortly. For now, it's probably best if you wait in our room. Alright. So, we met with the head maid, and she apparently has a plan. Now, let's see this plan put into motion after the dinner party. That's gonna be the hype.
Hey guys, talk about being late. The party's about to start, you know.
Sorry, we just got so caught up in sightseeing that we lost track of time. Plus, we also talked to all of the mayors.
Huh? Well, aren't we well connected?
We're close friends with the mayor of Relent. Plus, we met the other mayors in the course of our travels.
Ah, I see. I guess your work as bracers has caused you to meet quite a few big shots. You two sure get around for junior bracers.
Yeah, you might say that. Have you done any bracer assignments since we came to Gransel? I guess it's not all that different in other countries, right?
Right, for a full-fledged bracer, nationality isn't an issue when it comes to your work. The prelim fights and legal procedures at the embassy kept me too busy to get any actual work done, though. But hey, there are 4 other bracers on duty too, which isn't so bad.
Normally that would be enough to handle most cases, I'd imagine. But with all of them concentrated in Gransel, that must make it tough to handle any cases in other regions.
Haha, yeah, it could be.
I feel like a goose just walked over my grave. I wonder what's going on with Shara back in Relent.
Now that name rings a bell. You wouldn't happen to be talking about Sherazade, would you?
You know her? She's our mentor, and she's been a close friend for ages.
Oh, okay, makes sense. I met her a long time ago when a case brought her to Calvard. He was fortunate to have a good master working with her from such a young age.
Her master? Yeah, probably Dad. Please pardon me, the table for the dinner party has been set. May I show you the way?
Sure, I was getting bored with waiting anyhow. Alright, wanna go and eat fancy?
Sure, that fight left me starving. Let's go dig in. Come on, you two. It would be nice if you two didn't completely forget your table manners for once. Yeah, that would be nice. This is a dinner party, right? What's with all the empty plates then? Plenty of knives and forks, though. That's because it's a formal dinner. Everything comes out in specific order, starting with the hors d'oeuvre. Then use the knives and forks from the outside in. And that's all part of having good table manners? And here comes the anxiety attack. It really is not so bad. It does mean that you get to have some of the finest food available. Manners and etiquette are secondary.
Indeed, indeed.
I'm told you're acquainted with everyone who will be attending. No need to get stressed out. Yeah, I guess that's true. Please don't encourage her. On that note, is the gentleman accompanying you going to be okay with a knife and fork? I'm told that folks from the East usually eat with chopsticks. You've done your research. However, I'm a firm believer in the when in liberal do as the liberals do policy. I'm not exactly skilled with them, but I will use a knife and fork. My, how elegantly handled. I'm impressed. You're as much a gentleman as you are a martial arts champion. Haha, you flatter me. Boy, he really is a complete sucker for a pretty face. I think he's more being polite than a lich, though. Anyway, His Excellency is really late. Wonder what he's up to.
Indeed.
So if the seat at the head of the table is for the Duke, then who might that other one be for?
Indeed. Perhaps it is intended for Princess Claudia. Your attention, ladies and gentlemen. My humblest apologies for the long delay. Oh look, it's Philip, presenting His Excellency, the Duke.
Oh, I guess who's following him? Well then, I must apologize for making you wait so. I'm afraid that I was in a meeting from which I simply could not break away. This gentleman is Colonel Richard, commanding officer of the Royal Intelligence Division. I've invited him here to thank him for his tireless efforts in helping to deal with the terrorist situation. It's a pleasure to meet you all. I was quite gratified to be invited to this occasion by our Honorable Duke. I ask that you pardon my uncouth soldier's uniform and allow me to sit with you. Yep, there are not enough seats for your attendance, though. You gotta be kidding, we're having dinner with him? I suspected this might happen, but it's still unnerving. Excellent, excellent! What say you, Mayor Mabel? What do you think of Gransel Castle's master chef? Is his cooking not on par with that found in Bose's Antros restaurant? Yes, it's quite remarkable. The wine selection also perfectly complements the meal. I almost want to try hiring him away. You're not the first to say such things. And not of you, Zane. Well, wasn't it? Is the food to your liking? Oh, it's excellent. I don't have the words to describe the sense of refinement and depth. I certainly believe I could develop a real taste for Liberalian cuisine, though. Good, good. I'm glad to hear it. And you, young Braces, I imagine you've never experienced such fine food in your life before. It's extremely delicious. Far more worthy of being associated with the royal family than the person who invited us. Indeed, this is a genuine treat. It's certainly delicious food, and we couldn't miss a chance to attend so prestigious an event like this. Thank you very much for your gracious invitation. Very kind of you to say so. I do finally remember what my butler has been telling me about. We met before during the Ruan incident. Perhaps our fates are linked in some bizarre fashion. Yes, sir, maybe so. So he'd forgotten all about us until his butler reminded him. Come, let us put social classes and ranks aside for the evening. Food is abundant and the wine flows freely, so enjoy to your heart's content. Your Excellency, if you could, I would like to, as we discussed first. Ah, yes, that's a fine idea. I actually have something important to say to you fine folk who represent the kingdom. I use this celebration as a place to make an important announcement. An announcement? And what might that be? I believe I will allow Colonel Richard to explain in detail. Thank you. As you are no doubt already aware, Her Majesty has been in poor health as of late. However, she has been recovering and may grace us with a public appearance soon. Ah, that's excellent news. Could we possibly go and check in on her? Unfortunately, she does not consider that to be a wise decision at the moment. Within a few days, it does seem likely that the terrorists plaguing the kingdom will be swept away. In light of that, the Queen's birthday celebrations will be held as originally planned. Well, the citizens will surely be happy to hear this news, as they have been looking forward to it. But surely that is not all you wish to tell us? Right, if that were all, you could have just sent along a message. Indeed, you are correct. Her Majesty is continuing to recover, as was previously stated. However, given the gravity of her condition, she has also issued a proclamation. Due to her tenuous health, she has stated that she wishes to abdicate the throne and turn over royal authority to her nephew, Duke Dunan. What? Is this true? Joshua, this is... Yeah, the conspiracy finally makes its appearance. I was surprised when Her Majesty first brought the subject as well, but her illness has left her quite frail. But it is only natural. She has ruled the kingdom for 40 years, leading it through times of strife and war, all without a husband, might I add. Given that, I wish to relieve her of the stress of the duties by following the festival's successful conclusion. As the heir to the throne, the decisions are mine to make.
How terrible. Is Her Majesty's condition truly that severe? I'm ashamed that I've never noticed any signs in any of my annual visits.
Isn't this far too serious a matter to discuss at what is supposedly a casual dinner? Pardon my rudeness, but this all seems to stretch credulity? Humph? Mayor Maybell, are you saying that you cannot take His Excellency at his word? No, nothing of the sort. I simply mean that, as an elected official, I don't understand why the successor to the throne can't be elected in the same fashion.
That's true. If possible, I'd like to hear this directly from Her Majesty.
Your unease is quite understandable, but we do ask that you try to maintain your composure and allow us to continue. As mentioned earlier, I believe Her Majesty will give a formal announcement herself during the festival. Could you be persuaded to shelve your doubts until then?
Well,
the issue is basically this. Once this becomes common knowledge, we cannot know how the citizens will react. This is why we're telling the leaders first, to help stay off any chaos or public disorder before it happens. This is also the decision of His Excellency. Yes, well, this is true. Also, the Queen's abdication of the throne will have international repercussions. The other nations on the continent will have their eyes on us, and we must be watchful for any action on the part of the Erebonians. Surely you can see why it was necessary to show unified support for the new king. This is the world in which we are going to be living. It makes it all sound so rational. Yeah, he's quite a master manipulator.
In other words, the official decree will be given during the birthday celebrations. But you thought it would be best to inform us first so that we can be prepared for any issues that may arise, correct?
I'm glad to see that we have an understanding.
If this all comes to pass, we're going to find ourselves quite busy.
Yes, and we'll have to announce it to the citizens.
I have a question. I believe that the Duke has a fair claim to the throne. However, is there not another who has the same right of succession?
Well, no doubt you're referring to Her Majesty's granddaughter, Princess Claudia. It is true that she and His Excellency have an equal claim to the throne, but it would appear that Her Majesty did not choose her due to her tender age, and I must say I agree with her wisdom in this matter. I should hardly like to impose on such a responsibility upon a girl so young. Yes, absolutely. For the time being, I believe it would be best for Claudia to find a fine marriage prospect. Though it is strictly informal, there are already interests from the royal families of a number of other nations. Perhaps a royal wedding could take place as soon as this year. Oh my!
I understand. If that happens, then we'll have two major events to celebrate.
I honestly think she's a bit young for marriage.
Excuse me, may I ask a question?
Zane? I don't mind. Speak freely.
Sorry to seem rude, but this doesn't sound like the kind of conversations you want outsiders hearing, particularly a foreigner. So how come you're making this announcement now?
This is solely because of the serendipitous turn of events that allowed Bracers to win the championship. We had wanted to inform the guild of this in advance as well. I've already discussed the idea with Her Majesty.
Gotcha. I guess Liberal's military and Bracers are on just as good terms as the stories say.
That is because we lack the military strength of the Empire or the Republic. The harsh reality is that keeping close relations with each other is a must. In any event, do you now understand our intentions?
Yeah, alright. We'll pass on what we learned here to the guild then.